against black people. We are in a moment of anti-blackness on steroids, and we refuse to be silent. We will not back down in our pursuit of racial justice. The antidote to anti-blackness is to be pro-black, and we will do it unapologetically. The United States government owes us a debt, and we need reparations.
Stop. So far 我了解我也同情以往美国 in the very beginning, especially in certain parts of America, how there were injustice done to the black people. But let me ask you, ma'am, Representative Cori Bush, I think your name is. Question. In California, they just passed the black reparation bill. Okay? 赔偿给非裔. Now, question is, in California, 在加州里面, can you tell me how that the black people were unjustly treated? Can you tell me 在加州里面黑人非裔如何被歧视? Tell me. I can tell you 在加州里面中国人、日本人、Asians, yes, they were discriminated against. Remember? Yeah. Think Angel Island, what happened there. Now, but also, Representative Cori Bush, question, and that is, why is it that the wrongs that were committed hundreds of years ago now has to, kind of like take revenge on the current generation? That the current generation who did not discriminate, I did not discriminate. I did not own any black slaves or any slaves. How come that today our generation has to pay for the wrongs of the older, in fact, the very old generation, long ago? Tell me, how is that just? That is very unjust. 很不公平.
So let's make it clear. There is a debt that does exist. This country has taken so much from black folks and has a debt because for over 400 years into this very day, this country has stolen black labor.
From Pennsylvania.
Black futures. Industries were built and maintained through the subjugation of black people in this country, and wealth was built and maintained through discriminatory policies that still plague us to this day. And to be clear,
still plague you to this day. How is it that today, in the American form of government, how is it that we discriminate against black people today? Plague us till this day. You're hoping that we don't catch it. I caught the words. That is not true. Remember the word DEI? DEI that you voted for? That you all were in support of? We have had DEI until what happens? 3 months ago, right? You had DEI policy the last 4 years under Joe Biden. And people are looking at the skin color. Well, let's find some people with a certain skin color. You know what color, right? And let's make sure that they get first priority to become air traffic controllers, to become pilots, to become surgeons, to become firemen, policemen, whatever. Let's look at the skin color. How is it that we still plague the black people today, that we have discrimination? You tell me. Huh?
Directly benefited from it or are direct beneficiaries of it.
And I'd like to add Representative Lee a question. In Chicago, in St. Louis, in towns like these, do you know what is the number one cause of black people being killed? 谁 in Chicago, 谁 in St. Louis, kill, 杀害最多的非裔 black on black. How come you guys don't talk about black on black crimes? It is an absolute fact that in city after city after city, that most black people's lives were killed by other black people's. How come you guys don't talk about it in your community? Do you talk about it at all? Do you talk to the parents? I know this will make people upset and very uncomfortable, but that is a fact. Right? If we find that our Chinese young people are joining gangs and they're into drugs, guess what? We're going to have community meeting and we'll talk to the young people and we'll try to educate them and say, hey, look, young people, 不要吸毒啊. Don't touch it. All right? Okay? That is what is necessary. Okay? But you keep talking about white on black crime, how that white people discriminate against black people. Well, 很多人相信在美国里面以往最近这几十年很多白人 white people get discriminated against by guess who? Right? The white people are being discriminated against time and time again, but the media does not consider that news. And you wouldn't want to talk about that, would you? And you would refuse to talk about black on black crime, how that black people kill black people rob black people. Why don't you tell them that black lives matter? Tell them in the face, respect black lives.